Okay, so let's get right into it. You've probably seen this all over the internet, right? The idea that you can just apply coconut oil, go to sleep, and wake up with transformed skin. And look, it's easy to be skeptical, but what if there's some actual, real science behind all the hype? Today, we're going to break down the biochemistry of what's really going on when you use coconut oil overnight. The source material for this whole explainer kicks off with this exact feeling. It basically says, I used to roll my eyes too. Then I spent 3 months testing this myself. It gets the skepticism right out of the way, which is exactly why we need to push past the social media noise and just look at the raw biochemistry. So what is the real story here? What's actually happening at a cellular level that could possibly cause all this hype? Well, let's peel back the layers and get right to the science. It really all starts with one absolutely crucial concept, the science of penetration. This is the thing that makes coconut oil fundamentally different from most of the other stuff you might put on your skin. This number right here, 50%, this is pretty much the most important reason coconut oil does what it does. It's the concentration of a very specific fatty acid called lauric acid. And its unique structure, well, that's the key to everything else we're about to talk about. So lauric acid is what's known as a medium-chain fatty acid, or an MCFA. The easiest way to think about it is that fatty acids come in different sizes. You got your short, medium, and long chains. These medium-chain ones, like lauric acid, are special because their molecules are just smaller. They're small enough to do something most big, bulky commercial moisturizers just can't, actually get past your skin's outer defenses. And this just illustrates the difference perfectly. Over on the left, you've got your typical moisturizers. They have these large molecules that basically just sit on the surface of your skin. Sure, it feels hydrated for a bit, but it's temporary. Now look to the right. That's coconut oil. Its tiny little MCFAs are able to slip right through the skin's main barrier, the stratum corneum, and get to work on a much, much deeper cellular level. Okay, so we've established that the oil can actually get into the skin, but that's really only half the story. The real magic, if you want to call it that, happens when you combine its properties with what your body is already programmed to do while you're asleep, what we're going to call your body's night shift. See, while you're asleep, your body is anything but. It is hard at work. This timeline shows that peak repair window for your skin. Your cell regeneration starts to speed up, blood flow actually ramps up, growth hormone spikes, and cortisol, the inflammation hormone, hits its lowest point. Your body is creating the absolute perfect environment for healing. So applying coconut oil is basically like delivering a shipment of premium building materials right as the construction crew is clocking in for their shift. It's this perfect synergy. So what's the first big benefit during this all-important repair window? You get an antimicrobial shield. That lauric acid we keep talking about, it is shockingly good at dissolving the protective outer layer of bad guys like bacteria and fungi, including the specific kind that can cause acne. It's like having a highly selective overnight security guard for your face that takes out the troublemakers while mostly leaving the good, beneficial bacteria alone. The second benefit is, and this is wild, a literal cellular upgrade. Those fatty acids that made it past your skin barrier, they don't just hang out. They actually integrate themselves into your cell membranes. This makes the membranes more fluid, more flexible, and way more efficient. Think of it like upgrading all the doors and windows on your cells so it's easier to get nutrients in and push waste out. And here's where the science gets really, really interesting, though I have to stress this is still an emerging area. A tiny amount of the oil can actually be absorbed through the skin and get into your bloodstream. These MCTs then travel to your liver where they get converted into something called ketones. Now, ketones are a known superfuel for the brain. The theory is that this slow, tiny overnight dose could contribute to better quality sleep and maybe even feeling sharper in the morning. It's a fascinating idea, but we definitely need more research to know for sure. Okay, I know, that all sounds pretty amazing, but to do this right, we have to talk about the critical caveats. The stuff that the wellness gurus on social media sometimes forget to mention. And here it is, the single biggest catch. Coconut oil has a comedogenic score of 4 out of 5. Comedogenic is just the scientific way of saying how likely is this to clog your pores. And folks, a 4 out of 5 is high. That means for some people, especially if you already have oily or acne-prone skin, this is a major, major risk. So yeah, beyond the risk of clogged pores, there are 2 other potential downsides you have to be aware of. First, if you use it too often, your skin can actually get lazy and slow down its own natural oil production, which creates this cycle of dependency. And second, and this is a big one, there's the risk of oxidation. This is so important. Using fresh, stable coconut oil is like giving your skin the building blocks it needs to repair itself. But using old, rancid, oxidized oil is the literal opposite. You are slathering damaging free radicals all over your face. These are unstable molecules that cause cellular damage. You'd be adding stress to your skin at the exact moment it's supposed to be healing. The quality of your oil is just not negotiable.
So, knowing the science, the benefits, and the risks, let's get practical. If you're going to give this a try, how do you actually do it the right way?
First up, the product itself. You absolutely need to look for virgin, cold-pressed, and organic oil. Why? Because the high heat refining that's used to make cheap coconut oil destroys all the good stuff, the beneficial compounds like polyphenols and vitamin E that make it work in the first place. Oh, and look for it in dark glass jars. That helps protect it from light, which keeps it from going bad. Your technique matters too. Always, always start with a clean face so there's nothing blocking the oil. Here's a great pro tip. Apply it to slightly damp skin. It really helps lock in moisture and improves absorption. And you only need a tiny bit, like half a teaspoon is plenty. Just warm it up between your palms until it's liquid, then gently press it into your skin. Pressing is much gentler than rubbing. And finally, to avoid that dependency problem, please don't use it every single night. The key is to cycle it. A good rule of thumb is 3 or 4 nights on, then give your skin a break for 3 or 4 nights. This gives your skin all the benefits of the oil, but it also gives it a chance to breathe and remember how to do its own job, which keeps everything in a healthy balance. So after all of this, the biochemistry, the benefits, the risks, it all comes down to this one crucial point. The question isn't really if coconut oil works on a biological level. The science is pretty clear that its components can do some amazing things. The real question, the only one that actually matters, is will it work for you and your unique skin? And hopefully now you have the information you need to start figuring that out.